You know what happened to me in what year was that? 98? I won't say the name of the comedy club though. I went to a comedy club.
It's Dangerfields.
And I asked, can I get on? And they said, oh, we already have our black comic for the week.
Whoa. For the week?
Yeah, for the week. But you gotta understand, right? Back then, I thought that was the norm because it was white clubs, white people, white comedians.
Though.
So I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'm thinking, I'm not thinking racist. I'm thinking, oh, maybe the white crowd don't want to see black comics and like, another black comic. You know what I'm saying?
Week,
so I'm thinking,
it should be at least a month.
It's not February. Yeah. So, but I mean, as crazy as sounds today.
Yeah.
Back then, it's like I'm like, okay. So I went to another. So I started looking up clubs that didn't have a black comic.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, all these clubs got a black comic that they already fuck with.
Right. They got the token black.
You know alt comedy, where that came from?
Yeah.
I just found out what alt comedy.
Alternative.
Yeah, but it really stands for doing a comedy show at a place that's not a comedy club.
I know. I remember learning that too.
And but black comedians started that.
Because
good you point. Guys wouldn't let us into the clubs,
you
right? You
guys.
guys.
I mean us.
Yeah.
Well, you can't say,
20 years younger than you, motherfucker. What do you think I'm doing?
Two of the that runs a club.
Well, I can say you stole my bike. We can do this all day.
Oh, you didn't say it was black people.
Wow, I thought it was implied.
I could say that you're my guardian angel.
Yeah, but
I will say, dude, I hear what you're saying. I mean, look.
No, well, hold on. What I was saying
the Negro Leagues was technically the first all-baseball league, too.
No, what I was saying was...
Oh, interesting.
I was saying was so we would start our shows at bars, restaurants, whatever. But then somehow alt comedy got turned into, not like you guys took that from us.
You guys. Stop pointing at us.
Yeah.
Took it from us and made it something else. Because now when you hear alt comedy, you don't think of like a comedy club, a comedy show, not a comedy club.
You think of weird or different comedy,
yeah, like
nerd comedy.
You know what I'm talking about? When did that start changing?
Totally.
Alt comedy is funny. I mean, when Mark and I were coming up, we came up after you, Will, but like when we were coming up, alt comics were the ones getting all the TV shit.
Yeah.
Like Mark and I were always resentful because I think we were always kind of road guys and club guys, and we thought we were working really hard on honing our stuff, and we'd see these alt guys who got up not nearly as much as us and who we didn't think had chops, and were getting all the TV spots. So we were always a little bit like, who the fuck are these guys? Meanwhile, they were doing a totally different thing. A lot of them are hilarious. There's a lot of great alt comics, but, a lot of that stuff dried up because they were not doing the repetition where they were doing like their Brooklyn show or something, but they weren't going up in the Midwest. They weren't going up in the South. And, there's a reason that shit played to a very small demographic, I think, sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, what the thing is with alt comedy, like, okay, so that was the beginning of alt comedy, black, but somehow it switched to the type of jokes you're telling, right?
Yes.
And then the type of clubs you're working, where it's not comedy clubs, but so what did alt comedy turn into? Like, what type of jokes were people saying?
It turned into Janine Garofalo looking at her notes, and it turned into a cool coffee shop.
Yeah, but Colin Quinn does a show at the Comedy Cell every Monday. Look at his notes.
I know.
Killing it.
But so she popularized it. And I like Janine.
I like Janine, too. I think what Mark's saying is like, sometimes when someone break through doing a certain thing, others follow for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Maybe
popular.
People saw Janine do the notes thing, and they took that as a hint that they could use it as an excuse to not be funny. Like, they'd look at their notes, but they'd be doing their A material.
Right.
And they'd be like, anyway, what else? And then they'd do their A shit, and it's like, all right, well, you're either working on it or not. Like, we all, look up to Colin Quinn because Colin is always trying to grow as a comic. And Colin is always like, this sounds pretentious as fuck, but Colin is like seeking shit. Like, Colin is looking to grow as a comic always, and that's why I've always looked up to Colin.
But the alt comic is one thing, but the alt audience, do they purposely go, hey, let's go and not laugh? Like,
it sure as hell feels like it sometimes.
It does,
I don't know.
We bomb there all day long.
I go there, but I do feel like that some of those Brooklyn crowds, like, I'll always do it because I think it's important to always, kind of do different rooms that are not.
Do the crowd know that they're alt crowd? Do they call themselves alt crowd?
No.
They're not as energized. I do think there's like more of a standards and practices in their brain being like, is this okay to laugh at?
Oh, for sure.
This is-
Now the original alt crowd, black shows, they laugh.
They laugh.
Like you watch Def Comedy Jam?
Talk about energized.
Oh shoot!
I used to do you ever do Smokey's Room at Mocha Lounge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fucking alt room.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
My show at Boston Comedy Club every Sundays.
I heard about this.
Yeah, Bill Burr, you bring it up. He used to kill.
Yeah.
Because I had trained the room to laugh. Do
Oh,
what you do, laugh,
really?
but don't boo, don't heckle. Because black shows, the good comes with the bad. Like
Yes.
you kill, but if you're not killing, you also will. You go
Yeah.
kill yourself.
It's like Roman Coliseum time. It's either great or you kill him.
Whereas
kill
the
the guy.
Boston Comedy Club, I'm like, no, we're not doing that. We're not.
Oh,
heckling, we're
really?
not doing none of that. If you don't like someone, just be
That's
quiet.
nice.
And so Bobby Kelly, Rich Voss, Jim Norton, they used to come there and just kill.
That's the irony is like I've started in the alt world and it was all about like, hey, we got to be nice and da-da-da. And then you go to these Brooklyn room or Bronx room minorities, it's all black rooms or whatever, and it's vicious and fun and dirty and filthy. And you're like, all the shit you guys say that minorities are all about, they're doing the other shit. You know, like it's kind of condescending in a weird way.
Well, it's
This
Michael
making
Che's
sense?
great joke about how liberals love to be offended on behalf of other
Right.
people. I always think of Michael Che's joke about that. It's like there is something incredibly pretentious about that. To
Yes.
be like, you guys can't feel how offensive this is, so I'll feel it for you. It's very...
By the way, you can't say you guys. You got to say you them.
you them.